Hi there, welcome to Arbory Digital Update from the Forest. I'm Tad Reeves, Principal Architect at Arbory Digital. Today we're going to talk about AEM and Observability, which is that whole science and technology and art of understanding what is going on with your Adobe Experience Manager instance, or along with your website as a whole. Figure out how you can improve it, its availability, its usability, and so forth. Once again, back in my forest. It's a little bit later in the season, as you can tell. We got finally our mild weather is over with, and we are on to proper fall weather. It's below freezing right now, so my words may slur as I'm trying to get them out the door. So I'm going to do my best on this. So today, what I'm going to talk through is observability. Specifically on AEM as a cloud service, because there are some recent releases that just came out with general availability of the November release of AEM as a cloud service around log visibility. So previously on AEM, so little history lesson. First, when you were running Adobe Experience Manager in the cloud, a lot of times you had to rely on downloading logs server by server manually out of the Adobe Cloud Manager user interface in order to find out what was going on with your Adobe Experience Manager instance at any given time, which is obviously for something that is big time and in production, that's just not workable. About 2 years ago, Adobe rolled out first in beta and then in general availability the ability to go and plug Splunk into AEM as a cloud service, which is a game changer, and I've already talked about that before, because Splunk is far and away my favorite log aggregator. Depending on how you use it, it can also be far and away the most expensive. So it's got some caveats there. But in any case, you could use it. You can make all your dashboards off of Splunk, and that was great. However, with the November release of AEM as a cloud service, what has gone into GA is the ability to catch your breath. Whew. Okay, with the November release of AEM as a cloud service, what's gone into general availability is the ability to plug in other log aggregation endpoints, depending on what your use case is and what your enterprise already runs. So the things that are supported now at this point, in addition to Splunk, are plugging in Datadog, Elasticsearch, or Elk, which is Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana, which is a popular open source log aggregator and visualization toolset. You can also use Opensearch. You can also pass your logs to Azure Blob Store. You can also configure your own HTTPS endpoint to be able to pass those logs off. So basically, you got a bunch of options now. The other amazing thing, which is one of these kind of finally moments, is that you can, you're now allowed to self-configure these. So with two previous clients that I had getting set up with Splunk and AEM as a cloud service, the time span that it took between when I first opened a ticket with Adobe, when I already had my Splunk instance configured, and when Splunk was in fact configured and working and pushing everything into Splunk, was about a month of back and forth. And I was dreading having to go back and do that again. So now it's all self-service. There's a new config pipeline in Cloud Manager with a new log management configuration. It's called logforwarding.yaml, that you can then go and push into dev stage and prod at your leisure and make updates as you need to. So if you want to go and prune things or test things, or maybe you only want prod going into Splunk and then have your lower environments going into Elasticsearch so that you can save some money. So in either case, it's flexible. The other thing that you can do now, which you couldn't before, which was for application performance monitoring, your only option previously was to use the onboard New Relic. You can now also plug in, if you have Dynatrace, which Dynatrace is a competitor to New Relic, better in some ways, worse than others. They're both amazing tools. But if you are, if your organization already has Dynatrace, and you're wondering, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? You can now go and plug it in. So that's another option. So that adds, so with that gives you the ability to, in the tool of your choice, given those choices, and obviously if they support those things now with sufficient demand, they could support something else if you wanted to. One that I've heard a lot of clamoring about is New Relic logs, saying as though a lot of people already have New Relic. Might as well go and use the log support so you can get distributed tracing working. But in any case, that's a big deal. This allows you to get your dashboards working. This is only one piece of the observability puzzle. Another one that I wanted to bring up, which I've seen some AEM customers start to do as they roll out Edge Delivery Service sites, in addition to their traditional AEM 6.5 on-premise or cloud service site. So Edge Delivery Service comes as a part of the product, comes with a real user monitoring tool, a Edge Delivery RUM.js, which essentially goes and runs it's a lightweight, privacy first, real use monitoring tool that is it's been designed specifically so that it because of the way that it samples data, because of the granularity of the data that it captures, it can fire before EU consent banners, before cookie consent banners. So this means that you can run this thing and it can get a beautiful picture of what's going on even before somebody gets the consent banner and moves along. So if you've got things on your homepage that you're really concerned about what the UX is, even before cookie consent, then it's awful nice. Now, the thing is about that is, if you're already an AEM customer, you can reach out to your Adobe rep and you can have them provision you for real use monitoring. So you can go and throw that same RUM on your existing site, which gives you really nice side-by-side insights for any sites that you are considering moving to Edge Delivery Services. So with that, I think that's about all I have to say right now. There are more very interesting things that came out with this month's AEM as a Cloud Service release. One of them being 2 new tiers of AEM assets. So the AEM assets product has continued to grow over time. It's got a ton of features, not all of which everybody needs. Some people are earlier on in their assets journeys, and they don't need 100% of the functionality that a full-blown assets environment has. So they've got a new Assets Ultimate, which has absolutely everything plus kitchen sink, except dynamic media, I believe. And then you have a new Assets Prime, which is basically gives you like 30 T of space and then no APIs, but otherwise gets you in the door with a fully functional AEM assets instance. Now, given that I'm not Adobe, I cannot discuss pricing, but you phone me up and we can talk pricing. But there you go. That's this month's update. I'm somehow was able to move my mouth through all this It is cold out here. It's probably 24 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what that is in non-freedom units, but I'll talk to you guys all soon.